What if I told you getting dramatically ahead of almost everyone else is ridiculously simple? Not easy, but simple. Just 5 minutes a day of intentional discomfort can completely transform your trajectory in life while everyone else remains stuck. By the end of this video, you'll have a bulletproof step by step system to leave 99% of people behind you. Before we dive in, why listen to me? I've spent the last decade studying the psychology of achievement across multiple fields. I've interviewed over 300 high performers, from Olympic athletes to self made billionaires, and found one consistent pattern that separates extraordinary achievers from everyone else. It's not talent, connections, or luck. It's something much simpler that anyone can implement starting today. Let's face reality, most people are doing absolutely nothing meaningful with their lives. They wake up, go through motions at work, doing the bare minimum, find endless excuses to avoid what truly matters, and waste their time in a hypnotic trance of digital distraction. I live in a community with a completely free gym, state of the art equipment, no membership fees, no excuses, and yet I'm almost always the only one there. When I walk past apartments on my way to workout, I see the same thing through every window. People hypnotized by screens, bathed in the glow of endless entertainment. When McDonald's first revolutionized fast food, its unbelievable convenience forced the entire industry to transform. Decades later, we're facing the consequences, not just physically, but mentally. We're in an unprecedented age of instant gratification with pleasure available in microseconds. Think about this. TikTok alone has been downloaded over 4.1 billion times, with almost half the entire US population using it monthly. One out of every two Americans regularly feeds their brain digital dopamine hits designed specifically to be addictive. And this is only the beginning. Our digital landscape is becoming more sophisticated, more invasive, and exponentially more addictive every year. Technology is moving to colonize every sense, penetrate every moment of your day, and soon alter the very fabric of your reality. I call it digital fentanyl. It's leaking into every aspect of life, and I couldn't be happier about it. Why? Because it's created the greatest opportunity for personal advancement in human history. Imagine living in a drug den where most residents are completely incapacitated. It's dinner time and there's food hidden somewhere in the building. As the only sober person there, how enormous would your advantage be? That's exactly where we are right now. As long as you resist becoming part of the digitally sedated horde, it has never been easier to pull ahead of the masses, and it literally takes just 5 minutes a day. Here's the three-level system that will transform your life while everyone else remains distracted and stagnant. Level 1 is harnessing the power of small wins. A small win is something in your everyday life that requires minimal effort, but still creates forward momentum. It's taking the stairs instead of the escalator, choosing water instead of soda, listening to an educational podcast instead of mindlessly scrolling social media. These actions aren't particularly hard or uncomfortable, just slightly inconvenient. Most people exist in what I call the collective comfort zone, that shared bubble where small inconveniences are actively avoided. That's why my neighborhood gym remains empty. But you're different. You're about to set up camp just outside this bubble by building a consistent daily roster of small wins. They might seem insignificant in the moment, but compound them over time and they become life-changing. What makes level 1 so powerful is its accessibility. Anyone can do it, starting right now. Level 2 is where most people completely stall out. While level 1 merely requires slight inconvenience, level 2 demands you face your fears head on. This might be introducing yourself to someone new when your social anxiety is screaming at you not to. It could be having that difficult conversation with your partner instead of avoiding it. Maybe it's standing up to your boss when they've crossed a line, even knowing it might end badly. Perhaps it's choosing to be the bigger person when someone cuts you off in traffic rather than indulging your anger. But level 2 can also be smaller moments of purposeful discomfort. Cold showers that make you gasp for breath, fasting that makes your stomach growl in protest, or pushing through that final excruciating rep at the gym when your muscles are begging you to stop. The key is intentionality. You're choosing this discomfort as a training ground. Whatever your specific level 2 challenge is, do it once and fulfill your quota for the day. I guarantee almost no one around you is systematically leveling up this way, one uncomfortable action at a time. That's excellent news because if you stick with this practice, this 5-minute habit will soon become second nature. And when it does, you'll be miles ahead of everyone around you. The magic of level 2 comes from repeatedly proving to yourself that discomfort won't destroy you. Each time you voluntarily step into anxiety producing situations and survive, you expand your capacity for future challenges. Your resilience grows. Your confidence strengthens. You develop an almost superhuman ability to act despite fear, a skill that will separate you from virtually everyone you know. But if you truly want to separate yourself from the pack, if you want to enter the realm of the extraordinary, you need level 3, harnessing the power of pain. Notice the pattern? Level 1 causes annoyance. Level 2 triggers anxiety. Level 3 embraces actual pain. But don't panic. Even if you only implement level 2 for the rest of your life and step outside your comfort zone once daily, you'd still outperform 90% of people. To reach the top 10%, however, you need this final level. Pain differs fundamentally from discomfort. It's uncomfortable to approach someone you're attracted to, but it only becomes painful if you face rejection. If you didn't get rejected, you never actually reached level 3. Level 3 means intentionally seeking out that pain and making it a daily habit you embrace as the ultimate catalyst for growth. I know what you're thinking. Why would I deliberately pursue pain? Pain is terrible. That's why we call it pain. And you're right, but there's a deeper truth here. Pain is inevitable. It's coming for you whether you prepare for it or not. The only real choice you have is whether you select the pain you face or life selects it for you. Level 3 is about making that choice consciously. It's about recognizing that avoiding all pain ultimately leads to greater suffering. Think about the person who refuses physical exercise because it hurts only to face the much greater pain of chronic disease. Or the entrepreneur who avoids the pain of criticism and rejection only to experience the deeper agony of unfulfilled potential and regret. I choose the controlled pain of intense daily exercise over the unknowable agony of becoming a disease-ridden, immobile person in my later years. I choose the intentional pain of putting myself in challenging professional situations rather than the pain that comes from stagnation and regret. Choose your pain while you still can. What makes level 3 transformative is the profound mental shift it creates. When you voluntarily embrace difficult challenges, when you willingly step into the fire, you develop a relationship with pain that most people never experience. Pain becomes not an enemy to avoid at all costs, but a teacher whose lessons you actively seek. This is why I plank for 15 continuous minutes daily. The physical suffering and mental fortitude it demands is my personal level 3 habit. It's also why I chose a challenging career that regularly exposes me to difficult situations. These environments are stressful, sometimes chaotic, and often emotionally taxing, but they strengthen me in ways nothing else could. Your level 3 might look completely different. Maybe it's the pain of putting your creative work into the world, knowing it might be harshly criticized. Perhaps it's the anguish of disciplined financial sacrifice today for freedom tomorrow. It could be the strain of pushing your body to athletic limits you never thought possible. The specific pain matters less than your relationship to it, your willingness to embrace it as necessary and valuable. Level 3 is where legends are born. Think about any truly exceptional person in history. They all share one common trait, an unusual relationship with pain. Elite athletes push through barriers that would break most people. Successful entrepreneurs face rejection after rejection before breakthrough. Revolutionary thinkers endure ridicule and isolation before their ideas change the world. The greatest artists create through periods of intense emotional suffering. What separates these extraordinary people isn't just talent or luck, it's their ability to reframe pain as the price of greatness. They don't just tolerate pain, they transform it into fuel. Each painful experience becomes another building block in the foundation of their exceptional life. When I talk about level 3 pain, I'm not suggesting you become masochistic or reckless. This isn't about self-destruction, it's about strategic suffering, the calculated embrace of difficult but growth-producing experiences. It's about training yourself to run toward challenges that others avoid. Think about it this way: pain is information. Physical pain tells you your current limits are. Emotional pain reveals your vulnerabilities and areas for growth. Intellectual pain exposes gaps in your understanding. By deliberately seeking these painful edges, you gain critical insights that comfort seekers will never discover. When you routinely face significant challenges, minor inconveniences lose their power over you. If you can endure genuinely difficult circumstances and grow from them, does it really matter when someone cuts you off in traffic? You gain perspective that most people never will. Fortunately, you don't need extreme situations to experience this kind of growth. Pain is entirely subjective. If a single push up causes you pain, that's your perfect starting point. Even better, you don't have to add anything extra to your life. Simply by existing, pain will find you. When it does, you'll reach a critical crossroads. You can take the low road, complaining, asking why me, playing the victim, and learning nothing. Or you can take the high road that 99% of people avoid, seeing each painful moment as another rep in the gym of life. Another chance to get stronger, gain perspective, and prepare for whatever comes next. What makes level 3 so powerful is the compounding effect over time. Each painful experience you face intentionally builds your capacity for the next one. Your pain threshold expands, your resilience deepens, your mental toughness solidifies. While others remain fragile and easily broken by life's inevitable challenges, you become increasingly anti-fragile, actually strengthened by the very things that crush others. Think about the most resilient person you know. They weren't born that way. They developed that exceptional quality by facing difficulties head on rather than avoiding them. They've been forged in fires that would have consumed most people. Level 3 is about lighting those fires yourself instead of waiting for life to do it for you. The neuroscience behind this is fascinating. When you voluntarily face painful situations, your brain releases a cascade of neurochemicals: endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine that not only help you endure the challenge, but actually create positive associations with the experience. This neurological rewiring is why people who initially hate exercise can eventually become addicted to it. Your brain literally changes its relationship to pain. This neuroplasticity extends beyond physical challenges. When you voluntarily face social rejection, financial risk, creative criticism, or emotional vulnerability, you're rebuilding your neural pathways around these experiences. What once felt devastating becomes manageable. What once paralyzed you becomes merely uncomfortable. What once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. Pain itself isn't the enemy. The real enemy is the victimhood mentality that prevents growth. Just like muscle pain during exercise signals development, life's difficulties can be reframed as necessary for your evolution. When you treat pain as the amazing growth catalyst it truly is, it actually becomes valuable, even welcome. Conversely, if you complain about every discomfort and avoid all pain, you're setting yourself up for far worse suffering down the road. Pain is ultimately neutral. You are the one who gives it meaning or allows it to become pointless suffering. And meaningless suffering is the worst possible outcome. Let me make something crystal clear. Implementing level 3 doesn't mean you need to suffer constantly or make your entire life miserable. It's about intentionally embracing one painful growth experience daily. Just one. The rest of your day can be as comfortable and enjoyable as you want it to be. This isn't about becoming some emotionless stoic who never experiences joy. It's about strategic pain that serves a purpose. Consider these examples of powerful level 3 practices. Rejection therapy. Deliberately putting yourself in situations where rejection is likely, training yourself to be unaffected by it. Physical challenges. Setting seemingly impossible fitness goals and working toward them even when your body screams to stop. Creative vulnerability. Sharing your most personal work, ideas, or art despite fear of criticism. Financial discipline. Making painful sacrifices today, no luxuries, second job, etc., to build wealth for tomorrow. Social courage, having those brutal, honest conversations you've been avoiding. Intellectual humility, seeking out people who disagree with your deeply held beliefs and truly listening to them. The most powerful level 3 practices combine multiple types of pain. When you push yourself physically, while also facing social judgment, like joining a challenging fitness class where you're the least fit person. You're multiplying your growth. When you take financial risks while also making yourself creatively vulnerable, like quitting your job to pursue your passion, you're accelerating your transformation. The greatest paradox of level 3 is that by deliberately seeking pain, you ultimately experience less suffering overall. The person who avoids all discomfort becomes increasingly sensitive to it. The person who embraces strategic pain develops remarkable resilience. One is destroyed by ordinary challenges, the other thrives in circumstances that would break most people. Getting ahead in life doesn't require complex strategies or superhuman discipline. This simple three-level system provides a clear ladder of progression you can climb every single day. Level 1, do the slightly annoying things that create small wins. Level 2, face one anxiety-inducing situation daily. Level 3, embrace necessary pain as the ultimate teacher. Start today with just 5 minutes. Choose one small win, one uncomfortable action, or one painful growth opportunity. Do it consistently. While everyone else remains distracted and comfortable, you'll be systematically advancing beyond them, one day at a time. The gap between you and others will widen imperceptibly at first, then dramatically over time. And the best part? The habits that once seemed challenging will eventually become your new normal, propelling you to the heights that seem impossible to the masses still scrolling through their feeds. What's your level 1, 2, or 3 action for today? Uh, Decide now, do it immediately, and take your first step toward the extraordinary life that awaits beyond comfort.